1993. The threat fusion centers. All of this is designed for true Americans, people that believe in the Declaration of Independence, believe in the Constitution, believe in the Bill of Rights. And it's ridiculous. It is admitted that a world government has been founded. It is admitted that it is founded for the express purpose of setting up a world dictatorship as a means to an end to carry out forced eugenics. And I'm hearing more and more this schizophrenic talk out of Limbaugh and out of Glen Beck. And it's a double game is what it is. Beck admits there's a world government, but then makes fun of you if you talk about one of the most powerful groups involved. One of the bona fide organizations that literally tapped Obama to be president. We were there at the meeting. We knew where to be. Protesting, pointing out Obama was in there. Years later, it came out he was. We've been right about it all. And so we woke up the American people. The American people woke up others. And we're now the majority. And the system is sending in Rush Limbaugh and Glen Beck and all these other people to gatekeep and to control the population and to keep us on the reservation. So that we'll go out and to make sure at the critical time they can attack Ron Paul and make sure he doesn't get elected, make sure it's a Mitt Romney or a Sarah Palin or a Newt Gingrich. It's just that simple. And so now, more and more, they will tell you about 90% of the truth. But then Glen Beck will get up and say, oh, the MIAC report, the Homeland Security report. Well, it talks about dangerous groups, and he'll say, I agree with that. I disagree with this. I agree with that. And kind of, well, this is kind of a good law enforcement report. But see, I already knew about those reports before one of the latest ones we broke last year got so much attention. I already had gotten the reports in 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001. I'd gotten them from Louisiana and Arizona and Maryland and Texas over and over again, saying the exact same stuff that was in there, predating 9/11. That's how I knew that the whole focus was for the American people, not guys wearing turbans that live in Central Asia who've been on the CIA bandwagon since their inception. And so when I would see Glen Beck go to the White House in 2008 and 2009, 2007, 2008, and admittedly get marching orders from Karl Rove and George W. Bush and support torture and the Patriot Act and secret arrest and say you were a liberal commie if you were against it, and then I would see him demonize militias and Ron Paul supporters and say they want to bomb buildings and the army needs to be used against them. I'd already read all the Homeland Security reports. I knew Glen Beck was reading a teleprompter that had that information put on it. It was a script, and I was horrified. And I'm going to be honest with you. I get such a bad feeling when I look at Glen Beck. He is so evil that I become sick. It's like being in a room with a demon. So I don't listen, I don't watch, and I've been wrong. Okay, it's hard for me to look at him, just like it's hard for me to look at Barack Obama or Bill Clinton. I can read transcripts of what they say, but to look at them, it really upsets me, folks. Because they're so plastic, they're so funny, they enjoy conning you. And I've left Beck alone lately and just said, look, I'm not going to attack him, I'm not going to talk about him. But he's doing so much good now, but I know he's Judas Iscariot. I know he's Benedict Arnold. I know who he is in my bones, in my gut. But I don't just go off that. I've seen him. The guy reads off a script. Word for word. At key points, he's there to sabotage. And he's there to make the liberty movement look bad at the end of the day. And I'm not just somebody that just judges people. I've watched him. I've studied him. I mean, Rush Limbaugh is so smart. He knows this world government's real. He knows it's now for years been all over the news as they push it and try to sell the public on it. And he still sits there to his audience and lies to them. And Glen Beck does it. And they're mercenaries. They think it's tough and cool that they're heartless and lying to their listeners and betraying them. We'll be right back.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 5 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $209, and the Berkey Guy will include 3 sport Berkey water bottles and ship everything to you free of charge. That's right, 3 sport Berkey water bottles and free shipping. An $87 value, yours free. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
The economy is crumbling, debt soaring, and the possibility of World War III is increasing. I started survivalistseeds.com from my dining room table with a small bucket of seed and a single rotating banner ad on prisonplanet.com. 2 years later, we've sold over 40,000 pounds of heirloom seeds, becoming the largest bulk seed seller to the public. The majority of our customers are Alex Jones listeners. Now I'm offering 50 all-organic garden varieties, 10,000 heirloom seeds, garden planner, and a CD teaching you how to save seeds so your children's children will always have healthy food. Don't wait until it's too late. I'm Big John Lipscomb, and my company is survivalistseeds.com.
As many people know, ever since President Nixon took us off the gold standard, the U.S. dollar has been devaluating. What people don't know, however, is how this directly affects your personal finances. Is there a way to prevent your portfolios from losing value? The answer to all of this is gold and silver. They've both maintained their purchasing power for 6,000 years. If you had had $100,000 in cash and $100,000 in gold and silver back in 1913 and kept them both until now, your cash would actually have the buying power of only $4,800, but your gold and silver would have the buying power of $3 million. The answer to protecting your assets is simple. Call me, John Ballman, today at 1-800-686-2237, extension 169. Get all your questions answered before your money is worth zero. Call 1-800-686-2237, extension 169. Take action today while we still accept paper dollars for gold. That's 1-800-686-2237, extension 169.
Is your debt problem a ticking time bomb? Thanks to a new financial consumer relief program designed in response to the economic crisis facing millions of Americans, you don't have to wait until it's too late to defuse your debt. If you owe $10,000 or more in credit card bills and are struggling to make minimum payments, get ready to take down this number for free information that could potentially save your home, the lifestyle you're accustomed to, and your family's financial well-being. But don't wait. Studies show that if most debt problems are confronted directly, beneficial settlements, manageable monthly payments, and quick restoration of credit are more easily attained, potentially saving you thousands of dollars in interest charges, fees, and unpaid debt. Don't procrastinate. Call now for your free information and begin putting your economic house in order today. To qualify for this program, you must have $10,000 in credit card debt. Call the American Debt Associates at 800-876-2966. 800-876-2966. Again, 800-876-2966.
Folks, I don't want to spend all day on Glen Beck. It's just that I tuned in to NPR. I tuned in to MSNBC, Fox on XM radio. But I'll be going to the store and things this weekend. I turned the television on for 5 minutes. Every show I've listened to, all they've talked about is Glen Beck. And again, it's very sophisticated propaganda. Of course it's reasonable for Glen Beck to have a rally at the Lincoln Memorial. And I think it's great that he had the niece of Martin Luther King there, who's a conservative black lady and who's against abortion. You know, over half the black folks in this country aren't born. They're killed in the womb. I mean, that is truly the message that needs to be gotten out. that the fake liberal establishment wants to carry out eugenics and basically exterminate black people. And when I spot check Beck, when he's on in the break room or something here at the office, I see a lot I like. I see a lot that I appreciate. But then my instinct tells me, Alex, this guy's bad news. And then I remember, yeah, he said that, Ron Paul's got something called a money bomb. That means that they want to blow things up. We need to use the army against them. And we've got to worry about these domestic groups. And he's done so many things like that, so many creepy, multi-faced things. I mean, take his new book, The Overton Window, that's a #1 New York Times bestseller. And you'd think I'd be flattered that there's this character, Mr. Bailey, who's a patriot, YouTube-type star, who discovers that the government's staging terror attacks and sacrifices himself to stop the government nuking L.A. to bring in martial law. But it's creepy. Now, we broke the Mayak report. We're exposing government-sponsored terror. Clearly, I'm the hero of the book, or an archetype of myself. It's just creepy that Beck says this book is faction. It's real things or real things going on put in fiction. Then you read it, and it's everything he denies. The U.S. government staging terror attacks with offshore globalists. They want to destroy America from within by design. The big banks are behind it. Basically, everything that's true, put in fiction, faction. And then, at the end of the book, Beck says, by the way, none of this is true. There's no world government. The government's not staging terror attacks. This is kooky. Yeah, this book's got FEMA camps in it, but they're not real. I mean, why didn't he write a nonfiction book and then say, this is what's really going on? Why? It's so sick. Everything with him. I mean, I want to save this country. I have no future. You have no future. Our children have no future if we don't turn things around. And if Rush Limbaugh and Glenn Beck would come out all the way and tell it like it is and really expose both parties. Oh, they claim both parties are bad, but it's lip service. It's lip service. They're run by the big Republican establishment. If you think you're going to get real change from that, I got a bridge I'm wanting to sell you on the moon. Just like with Obama. I started making the Obama deception the day he was elected. And it was released about a month and a half after he was in office. And that film has been seen more than 30 million times for free online. And it's really caused a political sea change out there. And people watch it, and they go, how did this guy make this film? Everything he said came true. Because I knew who Obama's advisors were. I knew who his financial supporters were. And I know how the globalists operate. And now here I am seeing national polls where voters, the vast majority, almost 70%, trust Republicans. Almost 2-to-1. Over Democrats, just like they trusted Democrats close to 2-to-1 right before Obama got in. And I don't want to relive this Groundhog Day again. I don't want to go through this again. We don't have time. We're in deep trouble. We're in a depression that's now being admitted. The very same banks that orchestrated it got more power through the banker bailout and through the financial overhaul. And again, I had to watch Glenn Beck say we've got to support the banker bailout. It's not big enough. Always at the key point, he stabs you in the back. We don't have time to hate Obama so much that we think we win with a bunch of establishment Republicans, and then 3-4 years later we figure out they've cheated us and we think we win with the next Obama. No. Chuck Baldwin said it best. We don't need a new movement. We need a revolution, a peaceful revolution. But we need to get really serious. And if you think Glenn Beck and Sarah Palin are going to lead us out of this, you're blind.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.